And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Waldron Family Stadium. You're looking live at Mount St. Mary's Women's Lacrosse, the home of both men's and women's lacrosse. Today we've got a final game. It's senior day here at Mount St. Mary's, honoring the 6 seniors graduating today. We'll tell you all about who they are. They are hosting the Long Island University Brooklyn Blackbirds today. They come in at 6-10, 3-3 in the Northeast Conference, where Mount St. Mary's is a awesome 14-2, 6-0, undefeated in the Northeast Conference. It's been one of those years for Coach Lauren Skelchak and her program. It's taken a while to get here, without question. Coach Skelchak in her 5th year, and they are currently in first place, and they will be hosting the NEC tournament today. We will see if they can make a different kind of history. A program record tied for 15 wins, perhaps, if they're able to. If Long Island Brooklyn will have something to say about that. The scene set today, you need to know it is partly cloudy. It looked dodgy on my way out here, but it is 59 degrees and no wind to speak of like yesterday. Boy, what a tremendous atmosphere we had out here yesterday for the men's game, where they clinched the NEC championship. A thrilling game against St. Joseph's, where the Mount came up out on top 7-6, and then what was happening up at Robert Morris. Hobart was at Robert Morris, went into overtime in it, and as a result of Hobart's loss, the men let out a big shout when Robert Morris won in overtime to the men clinch the NEC. So both programs are NEC champions, and both will host on Thursday. Now, my friends up here in the booth, Liz Moyer, our super producer, Kyle Maxey here helping out on stats, Evan Roser. Let me tell you, they have got a huge day on Thursday and Saturday next week. So please tune in to find out what happens with the championships next week. I'll certainly be looking forward to it. But right now, we've got all the seniors starting here on Senior Day, and the draw control will be taken by, let me see if I can, it's usually Groover, but it's going to be today. Maybe it is Groover. Jordan Groover. She's got those patented high tops on, a la Johnny Unitas, who she probably doesn't even know who that is. Carly Miller, Taylor Carhart getting the start, the senior. Been a very important part of this program, as well as big sister Alex is here today to honor her sister. Alex here 2 years ago, played 4 years here at the Mount. As the Mount gets set up on their first possession, all kinds of records to look out for here as Beanie Colson tries to work her way in the final game of the regular season here for the Blackbirds and also your Mountaineers. There's Groover. She's in. She'll get a free position shot. Our players to watch today, I was looking at some of the stats, and, I have picked Jillian Petito just about every game. I thought, and here she comes. There it is. Save. There's my player to watch, Jordan Butler. And the reason is this. Nice save by newcomer goalie. It's not Sam Kidd, who's really been manning the nets, womaning the nets, I should say, for the Blackbirds, but it's Virginia Gibbons, number 27, getting, it looks like she's got 5 games under her belt, but only 124 minutes coming in. So do the math there. She doesn't have very many, only 32 goals against for Virginia Gibbons. As I was saying, I saw Jillian Petito the other day. The women played Friday, by the way, their last time out there. That was a big game. They beat Sacred Heart 17-6, and the Blackbirds played Wagner and lost 19-10 in a close one. And that is that both of them played on Friday. So very little rest. I imagine Coach Skelchak will, as Groover causes a turnover and will bring the ball up. There'll be a lot of resting of players today, I would think. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. I haven't talked to her, but as a former coach, I certainly would. Thursday will come quickly. They will be playing host to the number 4 seed. Quick stick by Jordan Groover goes in, and there's Jordan Butler on the assist. Well, give me an opportunity to talk about Jordan Butler. She played 3 games last year, and you talk about the success of this program. I got a chance to talk to Emily D's father, who, by the way, Emily D's one of the seniors here, got hurt last year, out most of the year. I had no idea who she was. And this year, Emily, you'll see her, number 27, in the leg brace, but having a terrific year, only 1 year removed from ACL surgery. And she has anchored that defense along with, as you can see, Caitlin Ridenauer, Devin Filipponi, and number 5, Zoe Hurlburt. But, of course, Jillian Petito, number 29, is the last line of defense. As we all know, a goalkeeper is, and she's just been outstanding. Still, number 2, she might be number 1 now in the nation after Megan Taylor from Maryland took on Johns Hopkins yesterday. I got to see a little bit of that game, and I do think the Terps came out on top. But Megan Taylor also has an extra game under her belt, so one more than Jillian. But you're looking at one of the best goalkeepers in all of the land in Jillian Petito. So enjoy forever how long she's in there today. She's a senior. We'll see how long Coach Skelchak will keep her in the game. But back to Jordan Butler as the Blackbirds get set up on the attack, as they get comfortable. Our players to watch, let me talk about them real quick. The twin set, I don't know if they're twins. I know they're sisters. Amanda and Rachel Mazzullo, hope I said that right, dominating this Blackbird attack. Amanda leading with 49 goals, 19 assists, and 68 points, folks. That's pretty darn good. As there is a first goal by number 12, that's Elise Person. She comes in with 17 goals and 6 assists for 23 points. She is 4th in scoring on this team, and she sneaks one by Jillian Petito here on Senior Day. And that is an unassisted goal by Elise Person as the score is tied here. We go back to the draw control circle. And for the Blackbirds, let's talk about number 20. It looks like Kaylee Riggins, the freshman out of Zionsville, Indiana. Nice to see lacrosse being played in the Midwest. Of course, we have Ohio State, Notre Dame. And there is arguably one of the MVP, also a senior, Emily Dees, number 22. Keep your eyes on her. Beanie Colson with the ball right now. Kate Kinsella is number 17. Butler gives it up to Carhart, over to Carly Miller. The red hair on fire. You can't miss her streaking across. And Taylor Carhart, one thing you can count on, she loves to go to goal. If Taylor's A and the goal is B, A goes to B pretty quickly. Groover's in and scores. Jordan Groover, nice juke with those classic white high tops. Got her in, and she scores. Goal number 2 for Mount St. Mary's here in Emmitsburg, Maryland. Welcome in, everybody. I want to say welcome into all of the Long Island University Blackbirds fans out of Brooklyn, New York. Little 4-hour car ride down for your loved ones, and about 225 miles away is LIUB. And, of course, always welcome into the Mount fans. We have a good crowd here today. It's finally spring weather, and we are happy to be here. I'm Jamie Watson, and it's an honor and privilege to be here and being able to talk to you about women's lacrosse, which is just growing rapidly. So exciting. The shot clock in women's lacrosse happened a couple years ago. I want to say 3. And the men are just starting with it this year. But all around the board, lacrosse is taking a, how do I want to say it? It's getting a lot of pub and notice because it's really fun to watch. As later on in the broadcast, we'll talk a little bit about what happened yesterday with the men and why I love doing what I do. Is everything and anything can happen in sport, and we went through all of it yesterday with the men, and obviously throughout the season with the women as well. deserve a ton of credit for the season they've put together, and we'll obviously cover that. Jordan Butler, back to Jordan Butler before I forget. Did you know she only played 3 games last year, but already this season, #1 in scoring and in points. It's a great cut, and that ball actually went. I shouldn't say that. I'll let Liz Moyer. I thought it crossed the line, in which case, if there was an advantage on the foul, they usually let that goal in. But no, they're going to pull Emily Davis back and make her do it from the free position shot. We'll see if she goes. And that is a procedural violation. The Blackbirds went before the whistle. Got to wait for the whistle. If Emily Davis doesn't wait, they give up the ball. Nice defense. Stick check. And the Blackbirds will get possession there on the turnover, as wasn't really a shot. Jordan Butler. So she is currently, when I looked up the single season records for Mount St. Mary's, she's currently, at this time, before the game even started, 3rd in total points at 62 for the Mount. She is currently in 5th place and rising in single season goals she comes in with 49. So Jordan Butler, just a sophomore, surely is going to break all kinds of scoring records if she continues on the pace at which she is, only playing 3 games last year and in 3rd and 5th place, shot wide left by the Blackbirds. That looks like there are 2 sets of sisters on the Blackbirds, which I find interesting. Our players to watch, that's number 16. There's Amanda right there who leads the team. Her sister Rachel, they are our co-players to watch. I'm sure they love sharing players to watch there. I'm sure Rachel's like, thank you, Jamie, for putting me in there. She only trails her sister by 7 goals. Rachel has 42 goals and 14 assists for 56 total points. Currently Amanda's in the penalty box for 2 minutes. Number 16. I didn't catch the penalty. Did either of you catch the penalty? Not sure if it was a dangerous shot with sometimes the stick follow through. If you're new to women's lacrosse, you cannot shoot on goal from over your head all the way down to your hip. The cross cannot dangerously follow through. The women, if you notice, they all do mandatory goggles, but they don't have any other gear on like the men do. The men have they have gloves, they have elbow pads, they have shoulder pads, Kyle? No shoulder pads. But a huge helmet, as you know, which is challenging for me because I never get to see their faces. But Kyle Maxey, sitting next to me, played lacrosse here last year at the Mount, currently in graduate school. He's sometimes there are so many rules in the men's games. I have to admit, I don't know every single one of them, but pretty close. Grew up watching my brother Michael Watson play lacrosse at the University of Virginia. He's currently in the Hall of Fame, one of the best ever to play the game, and currently work with Jesse Hubbard, who is also in the Hall of Fame. So lacrosse been a big part of my life, watching it, played in high school, loved it. If I had the chance to go back, I would play all 3 years, but I only played in my senior year. As you can see right here, fastest game on foot, they say. But it's a lot of fun, a lot of action, and now that we have the shot clock, back in my day, of course, it was just a boundary-less game, but there was a lot of stalling, and, all of that's gone now. In the men's game and the women's game, we have more possessions, more coaching, more X's and O's, more saves, more shots. It's just flat out exciting for the fan, and I hope it continues, and it will continue to grow as the WPLL, the Women's Pro League, just came out and announced that they'll be on ESPN this summer. That's a big deal. More eyeballs on women's pro lacrosse can only be helpful to grow the game. And I think men's lacrosse Olympics this summer. I know they've been fighting for it for a long time. I meant 2020. Sorry, Tokyo next summer, or the Olympics in Tokyo. I feel like I have to look that up at halftime, but I feel like they got in as a sport. If not in 2020, the next one. Here comes Amanda again, and she will get a free position shot. No, since she got the shot off, no free position. And nice cut, but sometimes you just forget. There's Petito, C3, I like to call her sometimes. Calm, cool, collected. Just intercepted that. You have to be careful when you're behind the cage and dishing. The goalie is a defender. Good defense, and Butler. It's the kind of thing Coach Skelchuk doesn't necessarily want to see when she knows she's hosting the NEC Championships next Thursday. You don't want your number one scorer to take a hip check like that. But Butler's a gamer. She'll get the free position shot. Number 16, Jordan Butler, our player to watch today. Jordan, take a bounce shot there, goes over the cage. Jordan out of Bel Air, Maryland, and John Carroll High School, along with Emily Dees. John Carroll, they're known for their, I think, toughness in their high school lacrosse. Kristen Porcella, I think, is still the coach there, and she's now in the Hall of Fame and a great lacrosse player, teaching high school players in the IAM, which is one of the best lacrosse conferences in the United States, actually. There's a shot by Hurlburt, Zoe Hurlburt, not a private school kid, out of Fallston, Maryland. Fallston High School, the pride of Harford County. Has always had a terrific year. One thing about this Mount team is they have 8 players in double digits. You can't just guard one. And Zoe takes a shot there. Flag out. Again, the flag means, if the ball doesn't go in, or if there isn't a save, or if the save is made, then they'll oftentimes let the advantage play, like in soccer. They'll give the advantage. So if the goal is scored, they won't call the foul. And that time, even though there was no goal, there was a save by the keeper, so the flag goes back in. And we proceed. Again, a bunch of rules just in place by all the smart women who are on that committee. Jen Adams, I think, is still at Loyola, is on that board, making the game fluid. There's a shot, bounce shot by Amanda Mazzola. You can see she's not seen a shot she hasn't liked. She rips one. It's probably her 3rd or 4th shot of the game. Her sister wears number 18, and that's Rachel. Don't think I've seen Rachel yet, although that might be Rachel with the ball right now behind X, and it is. They have kind of the same hair, actually. The Mazzullo sisters are players to watch. Wow, what a terrific spin move by, I think that's number 4, Bianca Santucci. Let me double check that with the... After every goal, a stick is thrown to the ground. It's checked. And it is Bianca Santucci, the other sister set we have on the field today. Bianca wears number 4. Her sister, Adriana Santucci, I assume they're sisters, both sets. 6 goals and 8 assists for Adriana. Bianca has 38 goals and 7 assists. So it's the first time all season I've seen a pair of sister sets, which is just awesome. That must be so cool to play with your sister. I'm sure she has her whole life. We're all tied up 2-2 here. Thanks for joining us today here on NEC Front Row, providing free coverage of Division I women's lacrosse. Not all conferences allow free coverage. Many make you pay for it, but not NEC. Thank you so much to the NEC Conference for that privilege. Groover back in the face-off circle for Mount St. Mary's. And the draw control for the Blackbirds taken by number 20, Kaylee Riggins, the freshman out of Zionsville, Indiana. The Mount picks that one up. Beanie Colson to Kate Kinsella. Looks like Elena Pagnotta is on the field. Butler working the crease. She's got that strong base, her legs. She likes to back down those defenders. Taylor Carhart also outstanding around the crease. Colson, Groover, Kinsella working it around Butler. Good defense. M. Davis drops it. Butler picks it up. Here's K2, Kate Kinsella driving left. Good defense by the Blackbirds. Head coach, there's a shot, a bounce shot. Groover sends wide. Jordan Groover, perhaps given the green light by Coach Skelchak. I want you to shoot some more today, and she has. Here comes Kinsella in. Just missed wide right. Kate Kinsella. Looks like Kinsella's getting a little bit of a face guarding here. There's Groover, bounce shot, wide left. She drops it. Groover picks it back up. I tell you, number 27, Virginia Gibbons, having a good game so far in the 6x6 cage for the Blackbirds, who is coached by Allison Hanley in her second year I have here. Make sure that's correct. Sorry, 7th season. I didn't think that was right. Allison Hanley, the pride of Notre Dame Prep High School right here in Maryland, right down the street from my house. Notre Dame Prep, Allison Hanley is a graduate of. She's in her 7th season at LIU Brooklyn. And she is a 2006 graduate of the University of Richmond. One of my favorite teams to follow are the Richmond Spiders. And today at noon, they take on my alma mater at UMass. I'm slightly torn for the A10 championship. Allison Hanley spent time not only breaking records at Richmond, but she also spent some time as an assistant coach at Hofstra and her alma mater. So Hofstra, by the way, having a terrific year in the CAA. They're coached by Shannon Smith, a former Terp. Women's lacrosse, I tell you, the players have been really loyal to the sport. In other words, you go to a great program and play, and then many of them end up coaching in the ranks. I think Kathy Reese has a ton of players coaching. Cindy Timchall, who was at Maryland before Kathy Reese, has a bunch of national championship now at Navy. That coaching tree is probably the biggest. Kinsella working it around. Right side alley. There's Hurlburt dodging left, now going right. She'll give it up to Jordan Butler behind the cage. You can tell she feeds it into Davis. Little tight window there, went for it. Good defense by the Blackbirds. Ball and the goalkeeper, Virginia Gibbons. Number 27 is getting a look at, she is a senior getting a start out of Farmingville, New York. Coach Hanley giving Virginia Gibbons a start today for the Blackbirds. The assistant coaches for the Blackbirds are Jessica Pandolf in the 3rd season and Taylor O'Connor in her 1st season. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention Sam Nolan. She wanted me to say hello to her parents who are listening at home. Sam, in her 1st season, played at UMBC, and Sammy Santoramo, which is just fun to say, in her 1st season on the sidelines for Coach Lo Schwarzman Skelchak. There's a shot, bounces off the pipe. Petito gets another pipe save. I'm sure she spends time blessing those pipes before the game. I would if I was a goalkeeper, and she gets some help right there. Can't say enough great things about Jillian Petito. all the senior class, acknowledged today before the game. Friends and family here. Here's Butler. She's in. She'll score. Jordan Butler. That's right. Number 16, Jordan Butler, our player to watch, puts one between the 5-hole, and then Mount St. Mary's goes up 3-2. Jordan Butler, just a sophomore. Coach Skelchuk will have plenty to look for. The future is very, very bright. While we do have 6 seniors graduating, and many of them are pivotal, most numerically, namely number 29 between the pipes, Jillian Petito. What a career she's had. I'm so happy for her, or any goalkeeper who, for 4 years, works hard and reaches really the pinnacle. She's going to the NEC tournament for the first time. So is Coach Skelchuk. It's been their goal ever since they've been here, this whole senior class. And the official, first off, the ball must go over the head if you're new to lacrosse in the draw control circle. If it does not go over the head, and if the referee deems that there's been a procedural violation, meaning if you move your stick before she blows the whistle, she will award the ball to the opposing team. And there she did just that. Gave the ball to the Mount because the Blackbirds' draw control specialist went early. Here's Butler with the ball near side again. Just scored a goal, the 3rd goal for the Mount, and the Blackbirds are going to send a double team on her. Here's Pagnotta trying to share the rock, but gets crowded in there. Oh, and there is a shovel in pass. And in the crease, so it won't count, but Emily Davis, a senior, called for being in the crease, so no goal. And she will take her position behind the goal. Our officials today are Lucia Perfetti-Clark, Dawn Grothman, and Terry Curtis out there trying to keep everybody safe. And we talked about how the women do not wear much gear. You can wear helmets, but only a few players do so. And that ball sails out of bounds, an unforced error by the Blackbirds there. Pagnotta goes off, and that looks like number 6, Erin Anderson, getting some playing time. As I expected, the freshman out of Westminster, Maryland, as is Beanie Colson, probably played high school ball together. I expect to see the entire roster getting in the game today for Mount St. Mary's as they clinched on Friday against Sacred Heart. They won that game 17-6. Here's Butler again on the crease, and she's going to shoot, and a nice save by Virginia Gibbons. This high-powered offense from the Mount has been averaging a program record 14 goals per game. They've been just outstanding this year, and equally as great has been this defense, anchored by number 27, Emily Dees. Beanie Colson, you'll see, one of the midfielders, and Hurlburt has also been tremendous on defense. You'll see number 12, Caitlin Ridenauer, often will get, there's a shot, Petito makes that save and comes out. Don't see that too often. Jillian casually flips it. Everything she does seems so casual, but right on point. It's darn good lacrosse IQ right there between the pipes and Jillian Petito. Her parents on hand, as well as many others. Oh, what a great feed by Butler, and Colson on the quick stick. Sometimes quick sticks aren't as accurate, obviously, going at such speed, but a lot of times they are. Colson misses just left on that feed by Butler. Butler limping a little bit from that hit she took. Going all out, literally was flying through the crease, flying through the air there. Herbart's in. Again, great defense, picked up by Butler. Blackbirds are going to double Jordan, as you would expect. Leading point getter. Blackbirds are going to make somebody else beat them. There comes the double. As you can see, number 10, Tori Gray, has been tasked. The junior, hello, out of Perry Hall, Maryland, and Roland Park Country School, another IAAM school. I see them all over the place, dotting Division I lacrosse rosters. I mentioned best in the country, in my opinion. And this looks like Jordan Butler, free position shot, crouching. Here she goes on cage, and she'll shoot and score. Jordan Butler, I believe that's her second goal today. Count it, 50 and 51 goals on the season for Jordan Butler. She is racking up that point total. Obviously you can't double team her on the free position shot. The Blackbirds are doing all they can to try to stop Jordan Butler. In the draw control circle, number 16, Amanda Mazzullo, by the way, she leads the team with 71 draw controls. But guess who's right behind her? Rachel with 70. So the twin set, I don't know if they're twins. Let me see if they're in the same grade. Both sophomores, so I'm going to guess they are twins. Taylor Carhart moving forward for the mount. Women's lacrosse, as I mentioned, has done such a great job of keeping the flow of play moving. I just love how they decided 3 years ago we're gonna adopt a shot clock. We're gonna change some rules. We're gonna make this game flow. We're gonna make it more exciting for the fan and for the players. I think the players have been more than happy with all the rule changes. By the way, on the men's side too, most of the guys I have talked to have been very happy to have a shot clock. I think maybe there should be a commandment that says no stalling in sports. Here comes Butler again. Free position shot. What will she do? Fake low, go high? She did, but guess what? Virginia Gibbons right on it. Jordan tasting a little bit of the turf today. I tell you, anyone, Long Island, in my opinion, you just say tough right now. I tell the story often of being a soccer player at UMass Amherst, and whenever we played anybody that came from Long Island, specifically Massapequa, we were always like, watch out, they will hurt you. Just meaning that they're tough, nothing other than that. Long Island, to me, is sort of the second home of lacrosse. Baltimore being the first, the birthplace of lacrosse. The Hall of Fame is here. If you haven't been to the U.S. Lacrosse Hall of Fame, make sure you get to it. It is a brand new building in Sparks, Maryland. Brand new as in 3, 4, maybe 5 years. It is gorgeous. The home of Tierney Field. Bill Tierney must feel very honored to have the field named after him. The referee is getting a little flack from some of the New Yorkers based on he called procedural violation. In other words, she she being number 20, Kaylee Riggins, played the ball before he blew the whistle. And you can't do that. You have to wait for the referee's whistle. If you don't, you will lose possession. So, word to the wise, wait for the whistle. We've heard that before. Waiting, not my specialty. Waiting, it's why you play sports. You get to run around and you don't have to wait. You just play and play some more. 7 minutes to go here in this first half. Mount St. Mary's leads 4-2. Here in Emmitsburg, Maryland. If you haven't visited this campus, I highly recommend it. Beautiful Sunday today here. Tell you the Blackbirds have done such a great job of just getting their sticks, getting in their way, getting their bodies in the way. Has thwarted this attack, who averages 14, I mentioned, but they're only at 4 halfway through, so well done, Blackbirds. Here's Herbert. She's in, and she gives it up behind the cage. Taylor Carhart, a senior captain. Here's Kate Kinsella. Again, you see, they're not letting them in easily. They're not letting them feed. Beanie Colson will get a free position shot there, but as the referee turns around and says to Allison Hanley something like, I'm not sure what she said, but Coach Hanley would like the officials to call this a little bit more evenly, I suspect. And I agree with that. I was an official for a long time in soccer. There's a shot and a score. Beanie Colson throws down the stick, and she puts one top shelf, where we all know Grandma keeps all the good stuff in the top shelf where you can't reach it. But Beanie Colson scores, I believe, her first goal of the game today. A pivotal cog in the wheel here is Beanie Colson, a middy, a tireless worker. Up and down the field she goes. The longest stride on the squad, Beanie Colson out of Westminster, Maryland. The pride of Westminster High School. Or I should say Manchester Valley. I don't know why I get that confused, but Beanie went to Manchester Valley High School. As did Laurel George, who is a senior, who was honored on Senior Day here at Mount St. Mary's. This is the final game of the regular season for both programs in the Northeast Conference. There's a great draw control. What I love about the draw control, one of the new rules is they're only allowing 6 players between the restraining line, so it is a true ground ball, and Colson sidesteps. Beanie does a great job of keeping it inbounds and winning that draw control. It's a true 50-50 ball when it goes that high in the air. And any one of the 6 players, 3 aside, can win it. Kate Kinsella having some time behind the X, and now they're bringing Butler out. And Butler will draw a free position foul. Tori Gray, the 5'7" junior out of Perry Hall, Maryland, Roland Park Country School graduate, right across the street from Bryn Mawr and Gilman. Great stick check from behind as that shot sails high over the crossbar. Colson is in. Great, another great save by Virginia Gibbons. Colson takes it off the left hip there. And there's number 19 for the Blackbirds, Carly Robinson, getting it up the field quickly. She's out of British Columbia. See a lot of Canadian men. Nice to see some Canadian women playing the game. Of course, as all of you lacrosse fans know, lacrosse is very popular, but particularly box lacrosse in Canada north of the border. Bianca Santucci, number 4, with the ball right now. Sister Adriana wears number 9. This is one of the Missoula sisters. 18 is Amanda. I'm sorry, 16 is Amanda. 18's Rachel. get it right. I'm sure they're like, get it right. Sorry about that, Mom and Dad. And that is a foul. I imagine we'll see a yellow card soon, but that'll be a free position shot for the aforementioned number 4, Bianca Santucci. Awesome Italian name. Bianca, also from British Columbia. Sets, crouches, Petito crouches, ready. And Bianca pulls it out. There's a bounce shot. Good shot by number 12. That's the kind of shot you're going to need to take. Elise Person. Elise out of Pennsylvania, nearby Downington East High School. And Colson, the midi, will go back and grab it. Beanie Colson, one of those types that can run all day long, and she does. Look at that stride. And Zoe Hurlbert, probably the most agile and the quickest player, in my opinion. All working together this year. They don't work separately. They all work together, and that's why it's been such a great year for this team. No I in team, right? And I'm not sure why Rachel is taking a seat in the penalty box. They're not telling us why. Just it's a yellow card, 2 minute. Now in women's lacrosse, if a player gets 2 consecutive yellow cards on the second, she is removed from the game. So you have to be careful. I like the rule. You really shouldn't be, getting yellow cards the whole game. Like in soccer, 2 yellows equals a red. And if you are red carded, you must leave the game. Hurlbert to Butler. Beanie Colson, right side alley. Here's Kate Kinsella. Oh, a nice cut. And Taylor, nice save. I tell you, Virginia Gibbons been outstanding in the goal. Here comes Butler. Jordan Butler likes to draw a crowd. There's a shot and a piper. Another pipe. And Taylor Carhart is denied on the doorstep by Virginia Gibbons' best friend, the pipe, on the 6x6 cage. Mount St. Mary's beginning to pepper Long Island. And there'll be a free position shot. You have to be within 3 meters, folks, of the person you're guarding. If you stray and start to play a little, zone, you will get called. Here comes Carhart. She shoots and scores. Taylor Carhart. And she, the senior, gets on the board. And the captain, Taylor Carhart, records goal number 6 here at the Mountain of St. Mary. You are looking live at Waldron Family Stadium. Thanks so much for joining us on this Sunday. That yellow card was releasable, and Amanda Masulo is back on the pitch right in the draw control circle. Amanda sort of does it all for the Blackbirds of Long Island, Brooklyn. Goals, 49 coming in, 19 assists. Both lead this team for Coach Allison Hanley, who is a graduate of Notre Dame Prep School here in Baltimore, not far from where I live. My sisters graduated from Notre Dame Prep. Great lacrosse program there. Allison also played at the University of Richmond, that program is excelling currently right now under another Allison Kwolek. Taylor Carhart just keeping everybody on their toes as the freshman, number 20, Kaylee Riggins, the freshman out of Zionsville. Indiana. The Blackbirds looking for a way to get past number 2 goalkeeper in the United States, Jillian Petito. Petito out of Ocean City, Maryland. Right on your way in the Eastern Shore on the way to the Atlantic Ocean here. Petito also played soccer in high school. Her parents told me she was a better soccer player than lacrosse player. There's a shot, a side-widening shot, but caught right in the heart of the chest of Jillian Petito and almost intercepted by Rachel. Amanda Masula almost intercepted that. Amanda's everywhere today. Here's Butler, Jordan Butler, our player to watch with the ball. Jordan Butler, as I mentioned, she is climbing up the single-season records for Mount St. Mary's. This her sophomore year. Only played 3 games last year. Butler has 51 goals on the year. Those 62 points. Here's Colson is in, and Colson will take a shot high to low. Another save by Virginia Gibbons. The senior is putting on a show here out of Farmingville, New York, Sachem East High School. Again, I think that's on Long Island. As we wind down here, 36 seconds left in the first half of play. Don't go anywhere, folks. At halftime, we'll have some stats for you. We'll keep you posted on what's going on with the men here at Mount St. Mary's. And more halftime programming coming your way. Stay tuned for that. The fans urging a shot here with 5 seconds to go. And they get it. And the fans from Long Island, Brooklyn, with 1.1 seconds to go, stand up and give a rousing round of applause, I should say. Rightly so. As it's an important goal. They cut the lead in half. Mount St. Mary's up 6-3. And let's give credit to number 4, Bianca Santucci, for that goal. I believe that's her second. She's got 2 of the 3 goals, I think. That would be number 39 and goal number 40 for Bianca. Plenty of fight in these Blackbirds from Long Island. Welcome into all the Blackbird fans who are here watching their loved ones play lacrosse. I love the fact that digitally NEC broadcasts for free, so everybody, family and friends in California and anywhere in the world, can watch their daughters and granddaughters and family and friends and loved ones play this great game of lacrosse. 1.1 seconds. We'll do the formality of a draw control. You can see sticks have to be level, wait for the whistle, go over the head, and that is a legal draw. We're going to take a quick break right now at halftime, but we'll be back with some programming. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Mount St. Mary's Lacrosse here on NEC Front Row.
How do you want to be remembered? Every day is a new opportunity. Every day I do something to get better. Every day is a step in my journey. Be better than you were yesterday, but not as good as you're gonna be tomorrow. Sweat the little things. Pay attention to the details. Because when opportunity knocks, it's too late to prepare.
I'll make the practice. Start to finish, start to finish.
We both want to win. Who wants it more? You want to be good. I want to be great. You get to write your next chapter. What's it gonna be?
Marcella up top, and she rockets it, snipes it, K2. Welcome in, Lacrosse fans. Here's Jordan Butler. That's a nice juke, and she beats goalkeeper in the nation. Here comes Butler. She'll shoot and snipe top shelf right.
I thought it was a very good game. We came out with the win. It was a little sloppy in the beginning, but we improved as the game went on. I thought we worked really well as a team. We moved the ball quickly on offense, and defense came up with some really good stops.
Players. Here's Groover, right side alley. And there's a nice cut by and a score. With desire this year. They've been so good. There's a shot and a score. Beautiful top shelf score. Emily D's back on defense. She has been stout. There's a shot and a score by, just talking about her, Emily Davis. Hurlbert's in. Hurlbert shoots high and scores. Zoe Hurlbert.
I think, like our coach says, winning is a habit, and now that we have such a high win streak, I think that our momentum and our energy is just going to keep carrying us through the tournament.
Eye on the cross. Pipes. Oh, that's a great shot. Number 30, again, Sydney Erickson. Here comes Miller. Miller shoots and scores.
And for the first time in history, the Bryant Bulldogs are Northeast Conference champions.
We're only given one life, and we choose which path to take. We choose to start our incredible journey here, so we can create careers and lives that matter out there. At Mount St. Mary's, we question courageously, serve selflessly, compete ferociously, and do everything extraordinarily, because from the minute we arrive, we live significantly.
Hi, I'm Tony Little.
And I'm Jane Moore. We love helping people find the perfect home.
From Adams County, Pennsylvania to Central Maryland. Whether you're selling a home, buying a home, or you need professional property management service, the Little Moore team can help.
Call us today at 301-662-2468. Who do you appreciate?
Tony Little
and Jane Moore, or visit our website at littlemore.com and get a little more.
certainly what they're hoping for here. There's a shot and a score by St. Joe's. Luke Frankeny on the board.
I mean, it's just a good way to end the season. We got a group of seniors here. It's senior day, so it's very fitting that we get them something that they've never experienced in their time here. Regular season championship, potentially, and a spot in the playoffs, which is really just what we've been hunting.
Up the ISO. Haggerty with the shot and the score. Ball is far side on your screen. There's a shot and a score.
Again, I'm very proud of our young men to find a way to win, right? Have some grit in the second half, and really control the stat sheet. That's really what we needed to do.
Matt Haggerty, near side alley. Haggerty. There's a quick stick and a goal. McCarthy got a couple assists today. There's DiPertoro, and he sneaks it in. They get it. Bethke, far side. McCarthy, quick stick.
Just keep doing what we're doing. We got a good group this year. We got a different culture than we did last year, and it's just a good time to be at the mountain. So we're just going to keep rolling the way we've been rolling.
Who will get in, and Luke Frankeny will shoot and score.
It's the middle of the night when... Avoid expensive damages to your home this season by calling Warner Service for plumbing emergencies. 844-44-WARNER. That's 844-44-WARNER.
WARNER. Warner Service.
Make the most out of your next trip or vacation. Have fun and travel affordably and safely on a Wolf Bus Lines tour. Wolf's offers day trips to casinos or dinner theaters and multi-day trips all over the U.S. and Canada. Travel with friends in the comfort of our luxurious tour buses with various sizes to fit any group. Our safe and courteous drivers will help you avoid the hassles of driving. We make the ride just as fun as the destination. Family owned since 1947. Call 888-BUS-WOLF or visit our website.
And welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for joining us here. You're looking live at Waldron Family Stadium, the home of Mount St. Mary's men's and women's lacrosse. Real quick, let's look at some of the scoring today, starting with LIU Brooklyn. One of the Santucci sisters, and that's junior Bianca Santucci, has 2 goals today, and Elise Person has the other goal. And we were noting that Bianca is a junior, and Adriana, her sister, is a freshman. We got 2 sets of sisters. We got twins, the Mazzullo sisters, Amanda and Rachel. Amanda it leads his team in scoring and assist, and is having a terrific day. She's been all over the field today. Mount St. Mary's scoring, Jordan Butler with 2 goals, Jordan Groover with 2 goals, Beanie Colson has 1, and Taylor Carhart, senior captain, has 1. And assists go to Jordan Butler. No surprise, our player to watch, Jordan Butler, 2 goals and assists, leads the team in points today and on the season. She is threatening some single-season goal records for Mount St. Mary's. What a terrific job. Shots by period, Mount St. Mary's 24, LIU Brooklyn 12. Draw controls by Mount St. Mary's 7 to LIU Brooklyn's 2. I thought it was closer than that, but it just feels that way. Both squads excellent, outstanding in clearing, both over 80% on clears. And LIU Brooklyn, I'm telling you, the player of the game so far, in my opinion, is Virginia Gibbons, number 27, the goalkeeper, with 8, count them, 8 saves. Mount St. Mary's typically averaging 14 a game, and Virginia Gibbons getting in the way of that. The senior keeper, the cage minder, the net minder, the last line of defense for LIU Brooklyn and Allison Hanley's team, outstanding in the cage. We are about to get started with the second half. We got a few seconds to go here as Mount St. Mary's takes the field, and they are in all white. They'll be traveling left to right on your dial as LIU Brooklyn. The Blackbirds are all in black today, looking stealth. They came out fighting, punching the Mount St. Mary's team, looking a little just not as sharp as they typically have been. Now, granted, the season has been wrapped up. They've clinched first place. They are the number 1 seed and hosting on Thursday and Saturday of next week, both the men and the women at the Mount. What a tremendous blessing, and it's such an honor and a privilege to be here to see it all in my 3rd year to watch both programs have the most success in front of my eyes, and it's just a great pleasure. The wind is picked up. If you can see Old Glory in the background, if you can, I'll tell you, it is flying stiff right now as the draw control, a true good draw control picked up by, no surprise, Amanda Mazzullo. The do-it-all has done it all for the Blackbirds all season long. She comes in 49 goals, 19 assists for a total of 68 points, which is 6 better than Jordan Butler of the Mount, but the Mount has much more balanced scoring, 8 players in double-digit scoring, whereas your Brooklyn Blackbirds, 7 players. And most of those points are the top 3, Amanda Mazzullo, her twin sister Rachel, and Bianca Santucci. The Blackbirds looking to get on the board early here in this second half. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jamie Watson. So happy to be here. It's an honor and privilege to call this Division I NCAA Women's Lacrosse game as everybody marches towards Memorial Day weekend, where we will crown a champion. I believe the women's, that's a nice stick check picked up by C3, Calm Cool Collected Jillian Petito. The women's Final Four is at Johns Hopkins University, which, by the way, Lauren Schwarzman-Skelchak is a graduate of 2008, the head coach of your Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers. The men's Final Four, do you know where it is, Kyle? Well, is it up in Foxborough? Could be. I know the women's is going to be in Baltimore. So Jordan Butler with the low-to-low shot. And that is a goal, and she sneaks that past Virginia Gibbons, who's been terrific in goal today. The Mount gets on the board 7-3. I think the women have not hosted in 12 years, okay? So they haven't hosted since 2007. So it's a big deal for them to be hosting. The men, on the other hand, 2011, they have, it's in Philadelphia. Okay, the men's Final Four is in Philadelphia. It was in Foxborough a couple years back, but now it's in Philly. And back to draw control we go. It's Jordan Groover in her white high tops, a la Johnny U in the Baltimore Colts. She was probably not even a glint in her parents' eyes at the thought of John Unitas. Here you can see the referee making sure the crosses are even. Got to wait for the whistle. Can't move before. And that is a perfect draw control. Jordan Groover picks it up, and she leads the team in draw controls. Jordan out of Germantown, Tennessee. Again, so nice to see more Midwestern. There's a quick stick goal. And there Emily Dees takes a pretty hard fall. Emily Dees, a senior, tallies goal number 8. As J-Lo sings Let's Get Loud. And this offense is high-powered, and they've been loud all year long. averaging 14 goals per game, which is a program record. Gives you an idea, Lauren Schwarzman-Skelchak, by the way, played on the national team, was quite a player at Johns Hopkins University. So she brings all kinds of high-powered, not only offense, but defense, and most of all, energy to this Mount St. Mary's team. And you can see how she has been building this squad. She's in her 5th year, and she has basically gotten to the pinnacle right now where they are NEC champs. They're going to be hosting. The next step is to win a game and go dancing, hopefully to win the championship. The winner of the NEC will dance in the big tournament. The NEC conference gets a automatic berth into the NCAA championship. Here's Elena Pagnotta, number 18. An important contributor to this offense is Elena, a Glenelg graduate. There's a shot by Emily Davis and a save by number 27, Virginia Gibbons. No let up by the Mount. They are just going to keep coming at you. Coach Skelchak has not even really required that they use much shot clock, it seems. One thing Lauren will do, Skelchak, is she will keep you guessing from who is going to be on the field, who's going to be behind X, out in front. You've seen Jordan Butler come out from behind X. And that was a charge call prior to that particular foul, and the charge is very similar to that in basketball. If a defender has her feet set and you run over her, well, that is your fault, and that is your foul, and that was called on LIUB. Now Emily Davis walking off. We're sort of wondering how long Coach Skelchak will go with her starting unit as this game really doesn't have much meaning in the standing. There's a shot by Hurlburt and snagged beautifully by Amanda Mazzullo. Of course, all season long, as the Mountaineers have been undefeated in conference play, certainly Coach Skelchak will want to keep an unblemished record, but not at the expense of any of her players being ready to rock and roll on Thursday when the Mount will take on the number 4 seed in the Northeast Conference. And good idea, just poor execution, which all of us, those of us who have been athletes, here comes a mini transition, and Taylor Carhart goes for the bomb to Jordan Butler and leads her just a little too far in advance, gives her the old hands up, my bad. I look on some of the faces. Butler took a big hit in the first quarter, and you all have to remember at home, everyone needs to remember that both squads played a tough game on Friday. And I know the Mount women's game was at 3 o'clock. Moved up an hour, by the way. It's just not a lot of time for recovery. And if you notice, they are clocking some serious miles out here. Midfielders will run anywhere between 5 and 6 miles per game, much like we did in soccer as a soccer midfielder. But personally, you don't even think about it. You're just having so much fun. You're just like, I never did. I was always could run all day, happy to do it. Right now, the Blackbirds and Coach Allison Hanley, her team, are trying to get on the board to cut this deficit in half. This Mount defense has been really good, and it ends with Jillian Petito, the senior captain in between the pipes, number 2 in all of the land. Literally, you are looking at one of the best goalkeepers in all of NCAA Division I lacrosse. And granted, the NEC isn't the Big Ten. It's not the ACC, but there's a shot and a score. Beautiful shot and score by Isabel Peng, number 1, the midfielder 5'3", the freshman out of South Pasadena, California. Small in size but big in spirit. You can see that. I love that it doesn't matter your size. It's always it matters the amount of spirit you have in you. And Isabel Pang was bringing it there. I'm sure her family and friends are in California watching this game free on NEC Front Row, where you can watch Thursday and Saturday the conference championship. And please do tune in. It will be right here at Waldron Family Stadium. Thank you to the Waldron family for this beautiful stadium here on the campus of Mount St. Mary's. If you've never been here, you must get here. It is gorgeous. It's a sacred place here out in Emmitsburg, Maryland, established in 1808. That's right, over 200 years. Humans have been coming here to this institution of higher learning, and more than that, obviously. And Beanie Colson's in. She'll pull it back out. At some point, I would expect to see the Mount use some clock. Take it easy. As I mentioned, they both teams played on Friday, and it's only a day and a half since they've had to get back up and start running again. And it's why the total package is important. Fitness. There's a shot. And a score, Kate Kinsella. K2 on the board. Goal number 1 for Kate Kinsella. Goal number 9 for Mount St. Mary's. They lead 9-4. Every time Kate Kinsella comes out onto the field before the national anthem and they introduce her, she does the old spoon to the mouth. Feed me, let's go. I think it's a team thing, but I always notice she never forgets to do it. Not everybody does it, but Kate Kinsella always bringing the energy, always wanting to be fed lacrosse ball, smile on her face. She wants to play the entire game and shoot and score. K2, always fun to say. Kate Kinsella, no relation to Roy Kinsella. One of my top 5 favorite films, Field of Dreams. Want to have a catch, Dad? Kevin Costner's finest moment. There's Zoe Hurlburt up to Pagnotta. Elena. Here's Jordan Butler going strong. Oh, yeah, she's in, and she's going to shoot and score. You can almost feel it. You just know it when she gets in like that. As you should score when you're in like that. When we use that term in soccer, when you're in that PK box and penalty box, and nobody is ahead of you except the goalie, you better be shooting. Mount St. Mary's takes a 10-4 lead, trying to just crush the will of the Blackbirds and doing a good job of it here in the second half. But they haven't quit. There is no quit in these Long Island University Blackbirds. They come in 6-10. They are 3-3 in the Northeast Conference. So they've had their share of victories. And, oh, by the way, they won in 2014 against this Mount St. Mary's team. So Allison Hanley has had her share of success for the Blackbirds. Isabel Pang pulls that one down. That's right. Typically, you see your draw control specialists more and more. They're 5'10". Obviously, 5'10", they typically have longer arms. And then you've got the cross, which I think, how tall is the cross? 6 feet? 5 feet, maybe 3, we're not sure. But just add that to how tall you are and the reach of your arms. And then you are probably most likely, with some skill, going to be the draw control specialist winner. So to see Isabel Peng come out of there with it, I love it. Here's one of the Mazzullo sisters, Amanda, working her way in. And Amanda gets in. There's a nice feed and a shot and a score. And there is sister to sister. I was waiting for it. The twin set, our players to watch today. Amanda to Rachel Mazzullo. Shout out to mom and dad. Proud parents, I'm sure. They connect for goal number 5. The Mazzullo sisters. shout out to the Santucci sisters as well, Bianca and Adriana Santucci, also on the field for the Blackbirds. First time I've seen a pair of sister sets on one team. Adriana is a freshman and Bianca the junior, and the Mazzullo sisters are twins. And there's Beanie Colson snatching it right out of the air. That 50-50 ball. There is certainly some skill in actually winning the 50-50 ball. I know 50-50 implies anybody can, but desire will get you that ball. And here comes the double team on Jordan Butler, as you would expect. And Butler sometimes doesn't like to give the ball up. But high IQ says somebody should be open. And Jordan Butler usually will find that person. Elena Pagnotta behind X. Jordan Groover up top. Jordan's in and she'll shoot and score. Jordan low and left, just to the right foot, to the side of the right foot of Virginia Gibbons, and the Mound has come out firing it in the second half. Goal number 11. Mount St. Mary's leads with 21 minutes to go, 11-5 here in Emmitsburg, Maryland. Campus, as I was mentioning, gorgeous, some sacred ground here. The campus is situated in the foothills of the Catoctin Mountains, and Maryland is often called Little America because you've got the beaches on the east side, the mountains on the west side. So you get a little flavor of everything Americana here. And it is a beautiful day, a little bit cloudy, but it's warm. So it's nice to be shielded from the sun for the players as long as it is warm. 60 degrees. I got to visit the Grotto pregame. Always leave the Grotto. It's the sanctuary about 800 feet high in the mountains where you can gather holy waters, fresh spring water, say some prayers, get your groove on, so to speak. And you always leave there feeling later, at least I do. Packed parking lot today, as it is a Sunday. If you get a chance, come visit Emmitsburg. Make sure you visit one of the two pilgrimage sites here in Emmitsburg. The Ann Seton Shrine is down the road. And, of course, there's lots of other cool things to do here. Cunningham Falls is a hiking area, camping area I used to visit. A lot of good things happening here in Emmitsburg. Camp David, nearby Thurmont, Maryland, where our president will vacation. I've never been anywhere near there, but I guess they don't encourage that. There's a nice interception by Beanie Colson. Beanie, another fun name to say. Beanie really has had an excellent year. It's a beautiful through pass, and Pagnotta gives it up, and there was going to be a shot until there was a violation. You can see Coach Skelchak is not letting up very much. Jordan Groover, will she pull it out or will she go straight to goal? We'll find out. As soon as the whistle blows here, Virginia Gibbons crouched and ready to defend. And there's a shot and a score. Number 6, who hardly ever gets in so far, is the freshman Erin Anderson out of Westminster, Maryland. And she is the pride of Westminster High School, which is probably about 20 minutes down the road here. I'm sure all of her friends and family are here. And how great for her to get an opportunity to score. And it looks like Coach Allison Hanley has said, let me get a timeout here. Just wanted to make sure that was Coach Hanley, and it was Coach Hanley calling a timeout. We're going to take a quick break. Timeout on the field means timeout here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
How do you want to be remembered? Every day is a new opportunity. Every day I do something to get better. Every day is a step in my journey.
Go!
be better than you were yesterday, but not as good as you're gonna be tomorrow. Sweat the little things. Pay attention to the details. Because when opportunity knocks, it's too late to prepare.
I'll make the practice. Start to finish, start to finish.
We both want to win. Who wants it more?
Working like maniacs.
You want to be good.
Do it for each other.
I want to be great. You get to write your next chapter. What's it gonna be?
And welcome back in, folks. I'm Jamie Watson. Very happy to be here with you. You can find me on Twitter at @TeeOffWithJamie, and you can find any of the Mount teams on @MountAthletics. That feed on Instagram or Twitter will feed you into all the other sports programs here, and I can't even count them. There's so many. What a tremendous place to send your son or daughter to play Division I sports. There are so many good ones here, including men's lacrosse, which, oh, by the way, just clinched the NEC championship with some help from Robert Morris University. So shout out to Bobby Moe. Thank you for scoring in overtime against Hobart, visiting Hobart. Had you not done that, Hobart would be the NEC champ, and they would be hosting on Thursday and Saturday. But thanks to Robert Morris, and a shout out to the big guy upstairs, Coach Tom Cravanti in his 24th season will be hosting here on Thursday along with the women in the first ever, at least first ever to me. I'll have to check. But the men and the women hosting the same time because they both won the NECs. I couldn't be more happy for both coaches who are both salt of the earth people. Tom Cravante, Lowe, Schwarzman, Skelchak, just quality, fine, excellent people. Athletic Director Lynn Robinson doing a terrific job here at the Mount. Lynn's father, Jim Phelan, most of you will know, famous Jim Phelan of the 800-plus wins in Division I basketball. The bow tie wearing Jim Phelan, who has a road out here named after him at Mount St. Mary's. And there's a legal and another Jordan Groover draw control win. Jordan leads this team. Jordan out of Germantown, Tennessee, probably a suburb of Nashville, where the NFL draft was held. Beanie Colson, top shelf. Beanie with the cut, working hard off the ball and rewarded for the run. Beanie Colson gets her second or third goal. She might be wearing the hat by now. The hat trick. Goal number 13. Lucky 13 for the Mount. They go up 13-5 here in this second half. Her second of the day, thanks to Kyle Maxey, Statman extraordinaire. Extraordinary he is. Back to draw control we go, and this time it looks like Isabel Peng, all 5'2" of her, saying, I can do this. And they're going to let that one go. The rule book says over the head, although I notice sometimes if you kind of get close, they'll let it go, which I sort of agree with. You don't want to waste a lot of time redrawing and redrawing. And there's another shot and a score. Beanie Colson couldn't even get it out. Great cut by Colson and a great feed behind the cage. The Mount racks up goal number 14. Number 6, Aaron Anderson on the assist. I was listening for that. Beanie now wears the hat. I think we just prophesied that hat wearing by Beanie Colson. Hat trick number 3rd goal, i.e. for Beanie. We're throwing our hats on the ice as they do in ice hockey, if you all know that. If you always wondered why hats go flying on the ice rink, it's a hat trick. Beanie gets one here, and a nice feed from Aaron Anderson, getting a lot of playing time here. We all notice Carly Miller has not been on the field this second half, so Aaron Anderson is getting some quality playing time here and showing Coach Skelchuk, put me in, Coach. Put me in, Coach. I can do the job, as Isabel Penn gets fouled there, and the Blackbirds set up on the attack. There's no quitting them. They're going to come right at you, as does Amanda Mazzullo, and she does. She gets fouled. Amanda will get a free position shot. Got to think that Amanda's going to go right at Petito. I would at this stage in the game. Plus, what a tremendous challenge. And she will. And she shoots wide left. The bounce shot, and Petito's ready for it. And there's Devin Filippone. Devin Filippone. I get her confused with Sean Milione. It's Milione on the men's side, but Filippone on the women's side. No long E. And there's K2. K2 gets the ball stripped from her by that excellent Long Island University Brooklyn defense. And we're getting good luck near side at Roland Park Country School graduate, the pride of RPCS, Tori Gray. Hometown, Perry Hall, Maryland. Many a great athlete out of Perry Hall, Maryland. One of our great rivals when I was in high school, Perry Hall. Great athletes. There's number 12 for the Blackbirds, Elise Person, who has a goal today out of Exton, Pennsylvania. She gets the bump by Hurlburt, and the foul is called. And when you get called for a foul, you must retreat 4 meters behind said player you fouled. And Elise gives it up. Bianca's in, and Bianca shoots, and the rebound goes right to Amanda Mazzullo. Great hand-eye coordination. Amanda gobbles it up and throws it right past Petito, top shelf. Terrific goal. Amanda Mazzullo. She's got 4 goals, I guess. We've got not only spirited players, but spirited fans. We love it. Got a great crowd on hand here today. And the stands were full yesterday to watch that scintillating game. The men, Mount St. Mary's, the mighty men, beat St. Joseph's, the Hawks, by 1 goal, 7-6. What a thrilling game it was. And then, of course, the overtime win by Bobby Moe. Great interception there. The Blackbirds gives it up to Peng. Isabel Peng, midfielder, will bring it through as they transition to the offensive side. Robert Morris University scored 5 goals, I believe, in the overtime to win it in that fourth quarter. I mean, it was just a miracle that they did win. And there's a shot, another save by Petito. Amanda Mazzullo, she will keep coming at you, and she does here. Petito up to the task there. Elise Person gives it up to Mazzullo. Mazzullo behind X, looking for cutters. Santucci comes. Behind X. Bianca sets up. Rachel to Amanda. To Bianca. And here comes the offensive set. Coach Allison Hanley, a fine player in her own right out of Richmond, a Spider, a former Spider, a 2006 graduate, and Elise Person trying to get in and is fouled. She'll get a free position shot. Allison Hanley in her 7th season here for LIUB. Spent time as an assistant coach at Hofstra and in Richmond, a Baltimore native. Elise Person is in, and she scores. Terrific goal by Person. It's hard for any goalkeeper to stop a shot on the doorstep like that, but you still have to get it past Petito, and Elise Person does just that. Mount still leads 14-6. 16 minutes to go here. Sun is peeking out here. A light breeze, beautiful day, 60 degrees. And here's some ground ball, a win by Isabel Peng. Does a terrific job winning that ground ball. Some real desire there. No harm. Elise Person picks it up as the ball trickles past Mazzullo. $15:57 to go here. Thanks for joining us here on NEC Front Row. I'm Jamie Watson, enjoying my final call here this year. It's been an amazing year. I'm so grateful to work with such great people. Liz Moyer next to me, giving you all of the camera angles. Kyle Maxey, Evan Roser, the assistant SID and your public address man, as well as our camera operators. There's a shot in wide right. Crystal and Camilla have been terrific all year, bringing you the sights and sounds of Division I women's lacrosse. It is tournament time next week, so everybody's finishing up the regular season. In fact, this is the final regular season game for both schools, and the top 4 in the conference head to the championships, which will be next Thursday right here, folks. Don't miss it. There's Mazzullo working far side. She's in. She'll take a shot, and she'll score. Amanda Mazzullo showing you why she comes in with 68 points. She has added to that with 3 or 4 goals now, 4 of the 7 goals. She has been unstoppable today. Forgive me, that was Rachel. Rachel Mazzullo. Rachel comes in with 42 goals and 14 assists for 56 points, only trailing her twin sister by 12 points. She's trying to catch up to her today. Spring has sprung, and it is gorgeous weather. My drive out here from Baltimore. Mount St. Mary's is about 52 miles west of Baltimore. Take Route 140 out. It's beautiful, bucolic setting. Farmlands, good people doing good things, feeding us, and watching some great lacrosse here on a Sunday, beautiful, brilliant Sunday afternoon in Emmitsburg, Maryland, here at the home of the mountain of St. Mary, Mount St. Mary's. What a fun ride it's been this year. Both programs in first place, both programs going to the tournament, both programs hosting the NECs here next Thursday. Far side, that's Kate Kinsella giving it up to Taylor Carhart. Carhart over to Aaron Anderson, gives it to Groover. Jordan Groover. And the Mount will work it around now. You would think they would want to take some time off this clock. you do need to think about sparing your legs. Coach Skelchuk and her team will be advancing as the number 1 seed to play on Thursday. They will have practices all next week to prepare. Your Long Island Blackbirds, I believe, are going all out for these final 13 minutes as the end of their season looms, and they will begin preparations for 2020. Hard to believe 2020 is just around the corner. There's Colson. Nice check on the way in. That cross check makes that ball sail high. The Blackbirds playing really good defense. M. Davis, another stick check. Well played. Tori Gray gives it up. And there's number 3 we get a look at for the Blackbirds. That's Riley Hollenbach, the freshman out of Nottingham, Pennsylvania. As the Blackbirds wheel around, stalking the cage. And that was a great cut, but guess who in the way? Petito, that's right. Jillian Petito. She is watching and leads his team in ground balls, often intercepting. There's Caitlin Ridenauer, another great lacrosse name, riding her way into transitioning to the attack. Mount St. Mary's sets up. There's Aaron Anderson. Get used to that freshman. Here comes Jordan Butler, and Butler will take a shot, and a nice save by Virginia Gibbons. There's a reason Jordan Butler leads this team in points and goals, because she takes a lot of shots. She is not shy about going to the cage. And that'll be a foul. Blackbirds retain. But Coach Skelchuk pacing the sidelines, along with assistant coaches Sammy Santaramo, Sam Nolan. All eyes, very intense over there. The rest of the players are kind of relaxed. Not the coaches. Their season does not end until the final whistle. And they are playing in the postseason for the first time since 2007 here. It is a happy, happy time here in Emmitsburg. That red line is a 12-meter fan. The red line inside of that is an 8-meter fan. And that is Emily Dees. And that's why you see the senior captain all-out hustle, going for the ball. Emily Dees out of the John Carroll School. Tough athletes come out of there, that's for sure. In Harford County, there's a nice feed, and the quick stick almost by Pang. Isabel Pang called for a foul there, perhaps a dangerous follow-through, and she will have to start behind the cage. Petito, senior captain, to another senior captain, Emily Dees. So nice to meet her parents before the game. A graduating senior, as the seniors were honored today. It is senior day here in Emmitsburg. Let's give a shout out to those 6 seniors: Maggie Allison, M. Davis, M. Dees, Taylor Carhart, Jillian Petito, and Laurel George. Thank you for your 4 years of service to Mount St. Mary's Lacrosse. It is an honor and a privilege to wear the uniform here at any school, no matter where you are. It is an honor and a privilege. You learn such great things, I think, being a Division I athlete, or 2 or 3. But for me, it was time management. You have to learn how to manage your time, because you're practicing for 3 to 4 hours a day, and you're going to class all day, and then you have to go to the library and study. That's what you should be doing anyway. Now, did I do that? No, I didn't always do that, but I should have. Certainly a better learner as I got older. There's Erin Anderson showing Coach Skelchak to give her some minutes. And there's a very promising freshman for Coach Allison Hanley. That's number 20, Kaylee Riggins, the 5'8 freshman out of Zionsville, Indiana. That is a great place to be from. Mount Zion is the I think some of the fans need to actually get out on the field and begin running to let some of this energy out. Doesn't do a whole lot of good to scream at the officials. Oh, there's a lovely cut. Just an errant pass, but a good cut by Bianca Santucci. 8 minutes to go here in this final half, the final game of the season, the final countdown for the seniors here at Mount St. Mary's. That is a block. And you always, same call as basketball, easy to pick up. At least person will get a free position shot from that area. Caitlin Ridenauer will be called on that foul, a blocking foul. It's an emotional day, the day you play your final collegiate game. It certainly was for me. And I know it is for them. As you can see, all through March Madness, the guys, the gals playing basketball, their final games, it hits them after the whistle blows, and tears flow sometimes. And there's a shot. Not a lot of velocity on that shot. As you can see, Elisa's stick to the ground. Good defense by the Mount. They put a stick on that stick to thwart that shot, and they do. Here comes Pagnotta, giving it up to Butler. And Butler squeals in, and Butler up top shelf, Jordan Butler. JB, 1-6 on the goal. Jordan Butler, what an outstanding year she's having. I believe that's her fifth goal. Thank you, Kyle. As Alicia Keys sings, this girl is on fire. Jordan Butler has been on fire all season long, with the help of her teammates, of course. There is no I in team. And Jordan is a team player. Jordan Groover in the draw control circle. The two Jordans. Spreading the wealth here. Jordan Groover, the midfielder, the draw control specialist, and Jordan Butler on attack. Goal number 54 for Jordan Butler. Her fifth today. And a couple of assists to go with that. We might be in 70 points territory shortly for Jordan Butler. And that, my friends, will certainly get her past third. She is currently tied for third at 62. So add those 5 goals and a couple of assists, and now she's approaching 70. That's either good for first or second. Tied for second for single season record. Our player to watch today, Jordan Butler. Number 16, Jordan, a sophomore out of Bel Air, Maryland, where? John Carroll High School. And again, here she comes at you. She'll shoot low, but Virginia Gibbons, she says, no. The hockey, the five-hole close in ice hockey and in lacrosse is the between the wickets area that attackers target on a goalkeeper. And those two upper 90s, like in soccer, left and right, that's where they aim for when they're shooting. The hockey goal is 4x6. It's 4 feet high. The lacrosse cage is 6 feet high. So it just add another 2 feet to the hockey goal, and you've got a lacrosse cage. To give you an idea of what Petito has to defend, Mazzullo shoots, and Mazzullo scores. Amanda Mazzullo. keeping the Blackbirds' hopes alive, 15-8. And truly, when you start to get under 5 minutes is when that 90-second shot clock limits you possession-wise. But remember, if you win draw control and score, you come right back. Draw control, win it, score. That's how you can score multiple goals quickly in lacrosse, which adds so much excitement. I've seen men's lacrosse, I think at Loyola, I saw a goal scored within 3 seconds. So, and then you come back and you do it again. So you can get 2 goals in 6 seconds. You can see how it can add up mighty quick. I love the 50-50 element at the draw control or the face-off in either men's or women's lacrosse. Another quality draw control, and just happens to bounce the right way for Emily Davis. And that time, Amanda Mazzullo called for a foul. Mount retains possession. Final 6 minutes. There's a nice cut. Kate Bierogel misses left. Virginia Gibbons has put on quite a show for the Blackbirds, the senior goalkeeper. And there's great hustle by the Blackbirds. There is no quitting them. That's Elise Person. And then that will be a yellow card assigned to Emily Davis, making all of the Blackbird fans happy. That'll be a 2-minute penalty on Emily Davis as she gladly takes a seat. She looks a little bit exhausted over there. While Coach Skelchak has gotten most of her reserves in today, the starting group has been in there most of the time. I see number 11 there for the Mount. That's a new player. Marie Dixon, the junior out of Bluebell, Pennsylvania, Wissahickon High School. The pride of Wissahickon. Also on the field, number 7, Sophia Stort, the freshman out of Eldersburg, Maryland. She went to Mount DeSales Academy. Mount DeSales, another IAAM school. Kate Bierogel loses that one. Bianca Santucci says, thank you very much. Bianca looking at the clock. She wants to go straight to the cage. And I don't blame her. They're only down 6. They need to start thinking about scoring quickly here as we approach the end of the game. Extra man opportunity here, extra woman opportunity for the Blackbirds as Emily Davis sits. And they are not going to call a foul there. And that looks like Amanda Mazzullo went down, and she's holding her hip. She's got a wrap around her right quad. But it looked like she took a hip check there. I'm not exactly sure, but Amanda Mazzullo, the frame on Amanda, you can tell she does everything for this team. I mean, she does not look like she has an ounce of fat on her. She is running all day long. She leads the team in goals, in assists, in points. And she is getting a much-needed rest. As I said, both teams played on Friday. The Blackbirds were up at Wagner. They lost 19-10, but it is a grueling event. These two 20-minute halves, 40 minutes of lacrosse, and both squads look like they're fairly limited. It's not like men's where Coach Gravante, I think, has 55 guys on the sidelines. I mean, you can't count them all. There's so many. But for women's lacrosse, I think there's only 23 or 4, if I count correctly. And Amanda Mazzullo walking off her own power, fantastic. She looks like she's okay, and she deserves a break, if I do say so myself. She probably doesn't want to take one, but because that's what competitors do. But lacrosse is a grueling grueling sport in that it requires a ton of fitness, especially for midfielders who go, as they say, both ways, both men's and women's. And here comes Ridenauer, Kate Ridenauer. And Kate will give it up, crossfield pass, which I'm always a fan of. I think coaches should teach more of this, which is let the ball do the work. Pass it 40 yards like she did there. Don't run it 40 yards. Just pass it all that way. If they're open, you see much more of that in the men's game, I think. And there are some programs that I've been watching, like Fairfield, Laura Field at Fairfield, the Stags. They will do a lot of crossfield passing. And this is Kate Kinsella, K2, not having a catch with anybody. She is running out the clock. Coach Skelchek now asking her team to use all of the shot clock. 30 seconds to go. And now she's going to take some air out of the ball. And there's a shot and another save by Virginia Gibbons. That's got to be 12 or 15 saves for her. She has been outstanding in the goal for the Blackbirds. And there's Elise Person taking a few hits from Erin Anderson, the freshman, trying to get Coach Skelchak's attention. Put me in, Coach. A lot of fight in these Blackbirds. Been very impressed with their chutzpah as Kaylee Riggins, number 20 out of Zionsville, Indiana. Another freshman on this squad. The future is bright for Coach Allison Hanley. A Baltimore native. Notre Dame Prep High School, IAM. Played one of the best high schools in all of the U.S. Notre Dame Prep recently, 2 years ago, finally beat McDonough High School, if you follow women's lacrosse at all on the high school level, which maybe you don't, but they didn't lose for 8 years, I think, 9 years, something ridiculous. And Notre Dame Prep finally beat them. And there's a nice pass by K2. Number 1, finally on the field, Jackie Pino out of Damascus, Maryland, Damascus High School. Jackie getting some PT, which is so nice to see. And K2 with the ball, Kate Kinsella. I would expect her to pull it out. 76 seconds on the shot clock, but you never know. She could go right at the goal, and she doesn't. 15-9. 6 goals is not a lot, but I'm not a big fan of running up the score. But in lacrosse, it's so hard to say when that is. And plus, there's so many crazy tiebreakers, which I learned calling the game yesterday, that you do have to be cognizant of goals scored when you're trying to position yourself to get the number 1 seed and home field advantage for the tournament. There's a shot to score by Taylor Carhart, the senior, wrapping up senior day here with 1:32 to go. Taylor Carhart gets on the board again. Taylor getting a little bit more playing time today. The senior has been an important part of the growth of this program. Taylor Carhart, her sister before that, Alex. The Carhart family giving the blood, sweat, and tears here to Mount St. Mary's. Zoe Hurlbert on the assist there. Just been a tremendous team effort here by all of the Mount St. Mary's players. Speaking to Emily Dees' father before the game, he said it's just been a tremendous team effort. I was trying to praise his daughter, and he was trying to praise the team. You could see the kind of quality kid that they've raised. Emily Dees, so happy for her. Missed all of last year. You can see Emily, number 27. She has the leg brace on, but she is perfectly healthy. Just a measure of protection there for her. We want everyone to be healthy as we go into Thursday's game. Mount St. Mary's, the women and the men, both number 1 seeds, will play on Thursday. Make sure you tune in right here to NEC Front Row to see how your Mountaineers, I'm sure, will be all clad in white. Tom Gravante's mighty men. What a thrill it would be for both programs to win the NEC championship and go to the next step, which would be, as we like to say, dancing. Dancing in the NCAA tournament. And boy, that would help recruiting always. But just great for all the seniors. Their season continues here as we wind down. Thank you so much to everybody who has hosted me here at Mount St. Mary, starting with Lynn Robinson, Athletic Director, Evan Roser, Mark Vandergriff. There's a shot and a score by Bianca Santucci. There is no quit in Bianca Santucci. And the Blackbirds, they get goal number 10. 16-10 with 25 seconds to go as we wrap up the regular season here. As I was saying, thank you to all the people here for hosting me, finishing up my third year here at Mount St. Mary's, and it's just been such a joy and a pleasure and beautiful campus. I never once minded driving out, and this has been a triple header. We played Friday, Saturday, and Sunday between men's and women's lacrosse, and I loved every second of it. So thank you for everybody who's listening. I want to give a shout-out to my family in Florida. Dad, I hope you're feeling better and getting better every second. Praying for you. Liz Moyer's done a terrific job, and boy, do they have a job ahead of them on Thursday. ESPN Plus is where you can see the next round of games. Be great visibility for Mount St. Mary's as we head down to the last 10 seconds. Thanks to our camera operators, Crystal and Camilla, and Kyle Maxey sitting next to me, our stat man, superior, extraordinaire, on the job. And there is your final horn. Stay tuned. Come back and visit for post-game interviews. Kyle's going to talk to Coach Lauren Skelchak about the game and about the seniors and about what's coming up on Thursday. And don't miss anything on Instagram or Twitter at Mount Athletics. As you see, Mount St. Mary's all gather around senior Jillian Petito. Congratulations to Mount St. Mary's on a tremendous undefeated season conference. They finished 14-2. Forgive me, 15-2. They tie a school program record for wins, 15 wins. Congratulations again to them. And the Blackbirds head off with a 6-11 record, 3-4 in conference, and they will be back next season, I'm sure, ready to take on and win the NECs. And that will wrap it up here. Your final score, once again, Mount St. Mary's 16, the Long Island University Blackbirds 10. Have a great spring, everybody. We'll see you next year right here. And thanks.